Rosaline Brown says domestic violence is a horrible secret held within walls most people don't understand. On Halloween Eve, 16 years ago, it touched her family in a way she never expected.
She was a shining star.
Rosaline Brown is incredibly proud of her 4 children. This is her youngest, Patricia.
She was a very beautiful girl.
The outgoing and confident Patricia was a hospice volunteer. She had great friends and played the flute. She drove a stick shift and loved shopping.
She was a daddy's girl. Very, very bright.
In 2003, the 26-year-old was living in Pontiac with her boyfriend, Edward Hodo. Her family was worried about her.
He tried to lock her in the house. He wanted to completely control her.
The couple had a baby girl that summer, and Rosaline says the abuse on Patricia was getting worse.
He hit her, and he pulled a gun on her, and she said no more.
Patricia and the baby moved in with her parents. Rosaline says Edward called a lot, trying to reconcile.
So she felt that it was good for them to co-parent.
On a beautiful fall night, Halloween Eve, Patricia was excited to dress up her 3-month-old as a chili pepper.
She went up to pick up the baby.
Then a phone call.
What could have happened to her? I had her dinner waiting.
Rosaline and her husband Gary found Edward's parents' home covered in lights, yellow tape, and police cars.
I said, "We're her parents. Where is she?" And they just said, "We have 2 bodies."
Edward had been waiting for Patricia.
He asked her to come into the backyard to talk. He had went out that day, bought a hunting knife, and he stabbed her to death. Then he took the gun that he had and he blew his brains out.
The Browns had to identify their daughter's body.
And I remember looking through the glass at the morgue, and her hair was wet, and she had a bruise on her eye and on her face.
Rosaline says the grief was unbearable. It hurt to breathe.
It was the kind of pain that just goes to the core of you. You become a different person. Your pain is so intense. It's like someone has cut your heart out.
The family didn't know anything about domestic violence or that leaving is the most dangerous time for an abuse survivor.
We need much more awareness, a greater understanding.
Rosaline says Patricia's daughter is now a thriving, outgoing teenager. We're protecting her privacy. Meanwhile, Rosaline's now an advocate.
It's not an easy thing to take that step and to get out.
She says awareness is key because without knowledge, you have no power.